and we started getting rich. My first year I made $96,000. My second year I made $500,000. My third year I made almost $2 million, okay? And from there, I've made some serious money, okay? And we're gonna show you guys how to make serious money and what it takes to make serious money, okay? This is not the regular meeting, okay? We're gonna go through some stuff with you guys that's gonna be real important here. One thing that we talked about in Palm Springs is how we were gonna work together like a football team. Okay, everybody was going to support each other. Okay, everybody, all the time, by the way. Not just some of the time, all the time we were going to be like a football team. And every morning we were going to get up and we were going to practice what was on our tapes. Back then we had the Jim Rowan tape. Okay, and we got up and we listened to our tapes for a half an hour to get our minds right every day. Okay, and then we were going to hit the road and we were going to work. Okay, but we were going to get up, and we were going to get up earlier than everybody in Herbalife is what was going to happen. We were going to listen to our tape, and we were going to get to work. And we were going to support each other like no one's ever supported each other. Okay, and that's a problem that I see in the company today. Okay, and we're going to really talk about this here this weekend. Okay, supporting each other no matter what. Okay, and I talked to the guys about this. I said, think about it this way. Here's the kind of support that we're going to have. I walk in to your big, giant supervisor school, okay, and it's going like unbelievable, okay, and I walk over to your top distributor. I pull out a .45 Magnum. I shoot him in the head. He falls down dead. Your reaction, all right, unbelievable, right? You just completely react to the fact that it was unbelievable. I just shot your top distributor. Now, that's pretty hard to do, isn't it? Okay, you'd be wondering, why did he shoot his top distributor? But what we got to all do, okay, is support what we're all doing. Now, afterwards, here's what you do. You come up to Mark Hughes and you say, hey, you idiot, you shot my top distributor. Why did you do that? Okay, and I give you the answer. See, part of our deal, gang, is there's a lot of people not supporting each other. There's so many rumors going on, and the rumors are rumors, half of these things, okay? And people are calling each other on the phone, and they're talking to people about the rumor, okay? Or about who's shipping something someplace, somewhere, okay? And they don't even know if it's true. And what they're doing is they're calling everybody in their downline griping about it, and they're calling all their upline and griping about it. They're calling everybody else, okay, in the sideline, okay, and talking about it. And here's what they're doing. Write this down. They're taking 30% of their time talking about what's going on, about the mean, nasty rumors and what's happening and who's bad and who's good and all the other stuff. That means you're making 30% less money. We got to support each other, okay, and then if somebody's doing something bad, we report it to the company. Now, I know when we reported to the company, sometimes here, there's been some slow-mo, okay, happening on some of the stuff on getting back to whatever the problem is. We understand that. We understand that there's been certain problems with people who have been exporting products that have been getting away with it, and we've been doing fines, okay, and we've been doing other things that most of you think haven't been happening. Okay, you think, hey, everybody's getting away with this deal, okay? And everybody isn't getting away with this deal. And we're not going to get into it now, but tomorrow we're going to show you the people that we've cut off and terminated. We're going to show you the people that we fined, okay? But we're going to show you the best part because it's going to get better than it's ever been. We got something new that is going to 100%, okay, in 90 days, stop everything that's got to do with wrongdoing Herbalife business, okay? Whether it's exporting. So we're going to have everything that you've got in your mind, okay? Everything that you've got in your mind is going to get cleared up this weekend, okay? You're not going to be fuzzy about anything when you leave. Okay, and we talked about that in Palm Springs. And we talked about how we were going to build. We talked about our self-esteem. We talked about what we were going to look like. We talked about what we were going to accomplish. And we talked about to get there, we were going to all have to have a serious amount of courage. Because let me tell you something, to make $1 million a year, to make $3 million a year, to make $10 million a year, you've got to have a serious amount of courage. You got to continually do the things that sometimes you don't want to do, the things that are uncomfortable, okay? And you got to become a pro, okay, at getting comfortable with doing the uncomfortable, okay, and doing that over and over. But we talked about how courageous we were going to be, and we also talked about our dreams at that meeting. We talked about the houses that we were going to be living in. We talked about the cars that we were going to be driving. We talked about the second homes that we were going to have, our vacation houses. We talked about, everybody had their own dreams there that weekend, and we found out what everybody wanted, okay? And I really wanted to find out what did everybody want, so I had their hot button that I could keep pushing and show things in front of them to keep them to go, go, go. And we talked about what everybody's dreams were going to be, whether it was putting their kids through school and so on and so forth. We talked about the unbelievable commitment we were going to have to make to take Herbalife around the entire world. And that is a serious commitment. And it not only is then, it is a serious commitment today to take Herbalife around the entire world, which is in the process of happening. But we talked about how we were going to have to be different than all the distributors in Herbalife. We were going to have a different kind of commitment than usual, regular distributors. We weren't talking about get team members. We weren't talking about millionaire team attitudes. We were talking about multi-millionaire commitment, okay, to the company. And this is when we were only doing $80,000 that month in business. And I talked a lot about that day, that where I was at, okay, this is where I was at, because a lot of people lose it when they're doing Herbalife. They get extremely excited when they come down to that first meeting, right? First meeting, everything's happening, they're excited, and then they're going, okay? And in the second month, you know, they do kind of okay. The third month, now they're in the flyers, that they've worked their second circle of influence, right? And now they're getting into the second stage of having to do business, and it's not going quite as good. The fourth month, it starts to become a job. The fifth month, it's, you know, it's so-so testimonial. I talked about what was going to be happening with me is I was going to be wild the first month. In the second month, I was going to be wilder. The third month, I was going to be crazy. Okay? The fourth month, I was going to be ecstatic. Okay? Ecstatic is what I was going to be. The fifth month, I was going to be consistently ecstatic. The seventh month, I was going to buy my first house, which I did. Whoa. And this was the third month, and I was talking this. See? It hadn't happened yet, but I was telling them it was going to happen, and it happened. Some of it didn't happen all the same day it was supposed to, right? But it happened. The ninth month, I talked about I was going to have my vacation home, and that didn't happen that year. It happened the second year. We all talked about that we were going to have to work with all of our total commitment, our mind, our body, our soul, towards our personal goals, okay? And if we didn't do that with everything that we had, we were losers, and we deserve to be losers, okay? See, if you want to be where you're at and just keep going, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? And if what you want to do after this meeting, after we get done with you guys, okay, is if you want to stay right where you're at $100,000 a year and just be comfortable, okay, that's great, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what we were talking about in Palm Springs. We were talking about how we were going to become millionaires, how we were going to commit to the company and build Herbalife around the world. That's an unusual commitment, okay? That's extraordinary commitment we're talking about, okay? And that's what we talked about that here there then, and that's what we're going to talk about here. We talked about how we were going to stick to the basics on continuing to sell the products and continuing to get distributors, and we were going to continue to teach people how to sell the products and recruit distributors, and that's what we were going to do all day long, okay? And then we told them at that meeting, I said, listen, gang, we're now about to leave, okay? And I've told you everything that there is to know, okay? And everything that I've shared with you here may not be for you. So if it isn't, great, okay? But where I'm going is $100 million. So I got to see you guys. I'm leaving, and I left. And when we got out of that group meeting, there was a couple of people that didn't make it. Like I say, Don Grineau, that next month, $18,000 worth of business. The next month, he was out of business and into another multi-level company. Dallas Bordenov never made it. Tim Greeny stuck for about 3 years. 3 years he did it. He's the sponsor of Mark Zuckerberg in the back of the room. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Okay, can you believe it? Okay, and he left. He left. And I never forget putting it on Tim Greeny, okay, because Tim Greeny really hurt my feelings, man. He was my best friend, okay? We had really gotten to like each other. We were very much like each other. And I never forget taking him up to my first house that I bought up on Mulholland Drive, and we were sitting there, and I said, Tim, you are making such a serious mistake. I put my best deal on Tim, okay? Just like I'm going to put my best deal on you guys, okay? I tried everything I knew how to do, and Tim left, okay? And he's got Mark Zuckerberg and all the group, Philly, everybody underneath that deal, and he's gone, okay? Tough. Tough, okay? And that's what it's going to be here. Tough, okay? So here, what we're going to do is we're back in Palm Springs for the second time. And we're going to get to be good friends this weekend. Good friends, okay? No private meetings for Mark Hughes, okay? I'm going to be out with you guys, and I'm going to try to get every single person's story in the room. I know you guys, okay? I know you guys, okay? But I don't know you guys, okay? And we're going to get to know each other differently than we've known each other ever before, as much as we can in 4 days, okay? Everywhere I'm going to be is at the pool, at the breakfast table, at the wherever you guys are at, okay, is what it's going to be, okay? Because this group is my champions, okay? And we are the group that's going to make it happen.